Antonio Margarito's hand-wrapping exercise was because of his recent history, carefully observed, probably the most carefully watched hand wrap ever, and of course Pacquiao's hand wrap was so observed. To the Texas State Athletic Commission, the Athletic Commission had to bring the two trainers together. There were fierce and heated words on both sides. Eventually it was determined that a drug test after the fight will have to be the measure of whether Margarito has taken a banned substance. Pacquiao trying to get inside and go to the body, and Emmanuel Stewart, must Pacquiao fight a pressure fight?
Right now, Manny cannot. I see the size difference. It's a big factor right now. I see he's punching. He's not used to punching at a man as big as this man is, who seems to be absorbing his blows pretty easy.
Punching up at an angle robs you of power, does it not?
Yes, it does.
So he has a better chance to affect Margarito with his normal power if Margarito hunches over and brings himself down to him a little bit.
What I'm surprised about is Margarito when he's jabbing with a little left step back and shoot the straight left right through the...
Margarito's arms and head down.
Well, one thing, Manny makes adjustments as the fight goes on. But other than that, he may have a problem tonight. I see the physical side seems to be a big... He's a very intelligent fighter.
Margarito has thrown almost exclusively jabs in the first round. One seems very low, but he has had trouble getting rolling in the early... Margarito still content to stand in the middle of the ring and box with Manny Pacquiao. Has not tried to drive parts of some of his fights, notably the Paul Williams fight. Here's Lawrence Cole. He's the son of Texas.
And here Margarito. Margarito has landed not only some shots, he landed a headbutt followed by a right hand. These are hard shots from a big man.
And the size is...
Punching up could be a factor in the fight. Pacquiao beginning to focus a little more to the body, I think. That would probably be
a big factor in this fight, as I see right here. Facial expression that Margarito had when he fought Cotto.
I mean, you're not supposed to be on the ropes against Margarito, and there he is on the ropes, Emmanuel.
Well, I keep saying size, but I just see...
That was the first time that Pacquiao found his body against the ropes. And if there was one thing Freddie Roach harped on throughout training, it was on the ropes. Never.
He's a lighter fighter when he would go toe-to-toe, and a little bit more in the mode that we saw him south of lightweight. More with some of the great Mexican fighters that he beat.
Good left hook inside by, or left cross inside by Pacquiao. He lands the right hook too as Margarito steps in. When he gets close. Uppercut, right hand uppercut there.
This is why when you asked me,
this big, delectable experience perhaps for Margarito. You heard Freddie Roach saying to Pacquiao, it's too early to start trying to bang this guy around. You need to soften him up a little more.
A long time since Manny Pacquiao looked vulnerable, and he's looked a little vulnerable here early.
For him, an unfamiliar fight in the middle of the ring, boxing with his hands up, doing reasonably well at it. Good straight left hand by Pacquiao. Another one. Little. Pacquiao flirts with the corner there, then moves away. Now his back is against the ropes. Margarito tries Pacquiao using the hand speed advantage to get Margarito off of it.
It does look...
Press the action, Pacquiao hits him flush with a big left hand, and then flurries and backs Margarito off again.
Forcing Manny to back, and it's a difference in moving.
In this round is that Margarito's gloves are split, and he can throw his left hand straight up the middle.
Now, he shows great ring generalship. Don't take it away from him. He throws the right, then he throws the left, then he steps to the side. So when Margarito comes out of the shell, he don't hit him because the guy ain't there. You know, that's good ring generalship. Pacquiao does it all the time. 3-0 Pacquiao.
I think he's winning, but he's got to be prepared to, it maybe have to go the distance in case he gets a knockout fine. But, you know, even though he's landing and winning the fight, he's got to be, I hope he's in great shape.
I think you're looking at 12 rounds of nervous jeopardy, but he might win every round. On the other hand, Margarito is telling his corner and has told them several times, according to interpreter Jerry Olaya, he has no power, he can't hurt me, talking about Pacquiao. Now, the marks begin to show on Margarito's face as he has a big red welt under his right eye. So Pacquiao can do that.
Yeah, Margarito's saying that Pacquiao's not hurting him, but his face is telling a different story.
Indeed. And Pacquiao's beginning to land with almost every punch.
The difference here between Pacquiao and Mosley, who manhandled Margarito, better and faster than Mosley, but he's not as physically strong and has to do this rather than just bully.
Hand speed slices you up. That's what's happening now.
Most of the fighters today, they punch at the target. Very seldom do they penetrate.
Pacquiao stood still for a moment, got backed in the ropes and hit with an uppercut.
Pacquiao hit it with a body punch, I think, and everybody took all of the starch out of him.
Margarito misses wildly with a right to the body.
Rather than just
He hurt it with a body punch.
Margarito around the ring.
He's beating Margarito up in this round. There's a huge welt under Margarito's right eye. He's backing Margarito up, and he's hurting him. And Margarito can say all he wants that Pacquiao can't hurt him, but that's not true. What a lot of people said coming into the fight, that Margarito is a big but easy target. CompuBox tells us
Pacquiao punch is very accurate too. He doesn't just waist punches. His punches are very accurate.
he even has the ability to adjust the punch in mid-arc.
Yeah.
Margarito going to the body against the ropes. That was the first moment that Margarito actually made it look for a moment like his fight against Cotto. And here comes Pacquiao.
As always.
He loves to answer back.
Yes.
Incidentally, guys, great fight against him.
But Pacquiao's hitting him harder.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he jolted back, or jolted Margarito with a left hand there. Jolts him with a right hook there.
Pacquiao's fighting spirit is something to behold. He loves fighting.
And you know, he always wants to get the better of an exchange. That's why it's hard to win rounds against him, because if you get him with a punch, he's going to get you back before the bell rings.
And that was likely here for Margarito. He said, look, I hope he goes up to 180. Every pound he adds is better for us.
Pacquiao takes his little breathers by
his punches, did he?
That's right. Margarito doesn't have much punch power. That one shot to the body seemed to have changed the fight tremendously.
Of course, since Manny's a southpaw, it wasn't a left hook to the body, it's a left cross, but the bottom
Margarito staggered.
Lands in the same place. Straight left-hand shots for Pacquiao, staggering Margarito momentarily there. Big right hook. Great shot. Another great round for Pacquiao. 63 punches average per round for Antonio Margarito, who at the height of his career a few years ago was averaging 100 punches per round. And when you start to get hit hard by somebody like Manny Pacquiao. Creating angles.
Creating angles, yeah, because
there's no way Margarito can find him.
No.
No way Margarito finds him when he does that. Just too much side to side.
Pacquiao was moving to hit where Margarito couldn't see him. That didn't work, so he
against Miguel Cotto. Afterward, I asked him what was most impressive. He said, easy, the footwork. I've never seen any athlete
started moving right and beat him up that way.
Very few people realize that his footwork is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what Tilton said.
Margarito having a better round.
Some bigger than others, but he's winning all of them.
Now Margarito catches Pacquiao twice against the ropes, and Manny finally is able to dodge away. But this gives Margarito energy, this gives him will and confidence. Suddenly he's back in the fight as he's tasted for a moment the advantage of having Pacquiao against the ropes. This is Pacquiao's nightmare, locked in a trap against a much bigger man. Fights his way out of it, bloodies Margarito some more. Now round 7 begins, they're more than halfway through the fight. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Okay. But you got those rounds that is called comparative rounds. I thought Manny won it, but I think that on the scorecard, Margarito may get it because it compared to the other rounds.
I think you're correct. I think it's Freddie Roach's nightmare. I think it might be Bob Arum's nightmare. But the bottom line is, you're right. Manny.
Well, this is a dazzling display of boxing skill, power, everything. Ring generalship here. Unbelievable.
Well, I'll say this. I've covered boxing for 24 years, and I covered Ray Leonard from ringside, and this is the best offensive fighter I've ever seen.
He does it all and fights everybody. That's what I like about him. He's really enjoying himself here. You see him try to do the kind of ollie shuffle. Here's what we call a natural. Been getting with a good trainer that really improved him like Freddie did and brought the best out of him, but he is a natural fighter.
See what's kept Margarito up in this fight is his enormous size.
The size. The only thing, Jim, before the fight you said you could see it possibly going to 12-round decision only because of Margarito's size.
Would win all 12 rounds, win a unanimous decision, and there'd be a lot of nervous moments in it.
Yes.
I thought Pacquiao would stop Margarito right around the 6th or 7th round.
Yep.
That's the only factor, but it's strictly a Pacquiao show.
No, if I had a prediction, it was going to be that Pacquiao was...
Seems to be weathering these storms pretty well in spite of the way his face looks.
Margarito's hanging in, and he's having more flurries as the fight continues, but Pacquiao just stunned him with a right hook and backed him off again. 2 more big power shots for Pacquiao to finish. And incidentally, I'll alter my prediction, guys. If Margarito throws an uppercut from too far away, Pacquiao might counter him and knock him out. Pacquiao was a terrific, world-class, one-handed fighter. Margarito banging him against the ropes here, trying to get to Pacquiao's body. That could change the fight. Pacquiao fighting back with his back on the ropes.
And here comes
Manny. And he turns it around and bangs Margarito viciously. Right on that badly bruised right eye of Margarito. Left cross straight on the bad eye. And another one. Pacquiao hits him again with the left. Margarito nods at him. Pacquiao hits him at will. Bang!
Know who else likes to fight? Know who else likes to fight? Margarito.
Absolutely.
You know, I've trained in the gym with Margarito, and what he trains going 15 and 16 rounds. That's because he wins his fights on stamina. So even though Thorne going down the stretch in this fight, because that's his biggest factor, is fighting while he's tired.
And he's blocking some of the punches, taking some. He took a big left hook there.
He's tired and being beat up pretty much.
Tonight.
And speaking of redemption for Margarito, so far this has been a measure of redemption because he's never stopped fighting his fight in spite of a frightful beating. And he's had success fighting in spots the way we used to see him knock out good opponents.
Not breaking Manny Pacquiao up the way he did Miguel Cotto. Draw your own conclusions.
I talked to Miguel earlier today. Miguel said this was going to be a very tough fight. As I was telling him, I thought that Pacquiao had to edge. He said, man, he may have edge, but it's going to be a hard fight.
What an exchange.
What a fight. I mean, this is a fun fight to watch for a fight that's being won fairly one-sidedly. Box reports that the 34 punches Margarito landed in that last round are the most anybody's ever landed against Manny Pacquiao in a...
Manny would have knocked him out sooner. But he's been able to absorb as much.
In the middleweight championship after having won the featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight.
And that was the case again. It was just too much weight difference.
Well, he got a draw.
Yeah,
Many think he deserves to win.
Yeah. But it's just a bigger man can absorb the punches a little better than a smaller guy. But a regular 140-pounder, I think Manny would have knocked out.
Welterweight championships already. He ran out of gas against a bigger man.
Seferino got
call it breathing room.
And smart strategy. He can pretty much do what he wants from long range, even though he's the smaller fighter, Pacquiao.
Another anomaly.
If he's in good shape and he can continue to do this, he'll win the fight fairly easy. But, you know, once he gets in the ropes...
Oh, Pacquiao's maybe decided that he can't knock Margarito out at this point.
Task at this point.
And as I said, that Pacquiao landed some great hooks. Knockout-style hooks.
Unless somebody wants to stop the fight because of that right eye, which is gross. What was Manny Pacquiao's greatest performance? What was his most impressive feat? What was his biggest night? It's the guy 17 pounds bigger than himself, touching him up, beating him up, ruining his face the way he is. This will be in the discussion.
Well, it's not just that Margarito's 17 pounds bigger, it's that Pacquiao's moved up 40 pounds and then gave away 17 pounds.
Right, he's a former flyweight. Freddie Roach wanted to get the Texas State Athletic Commission to make Margarito shave off the beard, which probably the
unbelievable machine.
They would have done. Pacquiao said, leave it there. I want to use it as a target. That's a fighter.
He's putting it on Margarito right now.
Manny. And the crowd picks up the chant. Manny. Boom! Another perfect right hook. What a show. Greatest offensive fighter of the era. Tattooing pork.
It's mentally and physically fatigued both. And this right hook.
He's ready to go.
That's one of the biggest jabs I've ever seen.
This fight.
He had another 30 seconds.
The right hook, he didn't see it coming.
That was a right hook from Pacquiao.
Yeah, Pacquiao
Stop Margarito in his tracks.
He still may stop him. He may get out of this round, but I think it's a good chance that Pacquiao may stop him in the next couple of rounds.
How badly does Margarito? Once he added the right hand to his stunning left cross, that took him to
Another measure of redemption for Margarito. Even though he's gotten out of this fight a million times, he has a ton of heart. He could, the referee, or for the fans rather, look at me, I'm tough. He really wants to win the fight, even though he's hopelessly behind and getting
no head movement at all.
Landed a shot, looked toward Coles.
He's the referee, there's no head movement.
Pacquiao looking towards the ref, asking him to stop the fight at this point, it looks to me.
How much punishment do you want him to take? That's what he's saying to Cole.
But the referee's doing a good job, I think. It's right that you can't. If he was back to the ropes and being hit or something, would be different. But at this stage here, he's being out-punched. But the referee has to have a few more seconds before he decides.
Emmanuel, he's rearranging Margarito's face, and it may never look the same again.
I know, but it's just the top of it. Because as long as the guy's punching back.
The issue is not Margarito's eye at this moment, it's his brain. How many clean headshots
can one man take?
I mean,
if the referee stopped, there wouldn't be any complaint, but I just don't think he's going to stop at the stage.
Pacquiao again looks at Lawrence Cole. His punches have zero snap. He is waving at Pacquiao. This reminds me of Roy Jones against Bryant Brannon. Jones actually asked the referee, when in the heck are you going to stop this fight? Corner asked if they wanted the fight, or if he wanted the fight stopped. He said no, wanted the fight to the finish. Same thing here, obviously. But it's not doing Margarito any good to take the number of shots he's taking now. Flush on an already badly brutalized face.
Corner may stop.
One of 75 power shots in the last round, meaning he is more or less hitting Margarito at will. Max, I honestly wonder whether Pacquiao has no more stomach for the punishment.
Joe Calzaghe seemingly was doing that with Roy Jones in the later rounds, too.
Absolutely. To the time. Question, Pacquiao's pulling his punches now. He is not following through and committing the way he does most.
An accurate puncher. You wonder, for years, Sugar Ray Leonard wouldn't fight Marvin Hagler. Of course, Hagler is much bigger than Leonard. Floyd Mayweather's watching this thinking, maybe the time is right to fight this. Until he felt the time was right. He noticed Hagler slow down against Duran and Magad.
Because he's fighting such different guys every time out, and they're all so big.
Then he took the fight.
You make sure that he wins the round, make clear who's still dominant, but obviously he's not trying to finish Mark. Now suddenly there's some Manny energy. Looks as though he wants to be the fighter. This is Manny Pacquiao, the congressman, Manny Pacquiao, the cultural icon, Manny Pacquiao, the citizen of the world.